What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Just checked out all of my rooms. I had like a whole lot of rooms, premium rooms. Here, as usual, on side of the MGM Grand. And so, I always got to take care of both me and my guests. And I keep a room personally here for me, just in case I don't feel like driving all the way to the crib, or a little bit tipsy and I just want to stay safe or whatever like that. Just keeping it moving. So I'm always trying to make sure that I do the thing that's the most convenient, right? But I want to talk to you guys. I don't want to break down something for you really quickly. You got my keys, big dog?
Hey, Flans.
Yeah, Flans. Tell Flans what up, though. I want to break down for y'all something really quickly, right? And specifically, what's your number? And when I say what's your number, what's the threshold or what's the number that you're shooting for specifically and why? I'm going to tell you my number. I'm going to tell you how that number has changed over the years. And thank you, big dog. I appreciate you. I'm going to tell you how that number has changed over the years and why you should be motivated and then striving for that number despite all of this dusty mindset of people in general that's trying to convince you to be average. Who shoots for average? That makes no sense whatsoever. I don't believe in average. I'm not shooting for average. I'm not advocating for average. I wouldn't want average for me or my wife or my daughter. And so I'm not going to advocate for average for you, right? I don't stay at average hotels. I don't do average things. I don't go to average games. I don't drive average cars at all. I don't wear average watches. I don't take average flights. And so why would I advocate for you to do something that I'm not advocating for myself? At the very least, you can't say that I didn't get it out the mud, that I didn't get it the right way, and that I'm not giving you the game and advocating for you to not be average. Let me break it down for you. My number is 25 million, all right? And I'm gonna break that down for you in 1 second. In the meantime, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. In addition to that, in the Patreon, I dropped 2 videos recently. One, I break down my real estate strategy and how I reverse snowball in order to build wealth. The second was an uncensored, we do our regular weekly podcast / interview / recording or whatever it is that you want to call it, uncensored, me and Charleston White. I dropped that yesterday also. And in addition to that, make sure you tap into the Alpha Juice Company so you can get your discount for your cleanses, because I am going through a fitness transformation and it's going to be epic this summer. Absolutely epic. Isn't Detroit beautiful? Look at this city. You got my future residents right there. You got people walking around. It's the middle of the day. It's absolutely awesome. You got the Savage Fenty store that's going to be right here. That's absolutely great. You got Lululemon right across the street, H&M right across the street, Pure Detroit. All of the beautiful places for us to be able to chill, have conversations. And I just love having my office down here and then love doing the things that I do down here. You got Comerica Park, you got the new Huntington Bank headquarters, you have Little Caesars Arena and the Fox Theater right down there. It's absolutely awesome. But here, listen, this is my number, right? 25 million, and I'm gonna tell you why it's 25 million. When I was younger, and when I was on a come up, my goal was to make $150,000 a year. And in my mind, it was like, if I just do 150,000, all my problems are solved. And the reason why I had that mindset is because I didn't know what I didn't know. I wasn't exposed to a completely different lifestyle. I didn't have aspirations and goals to be a lot greater and a lot bigger than my current circumstance. Now, that didn't mean that I didn't want a Lamborghini or I didn't manifest that stuff or I didn't work my butt off in order to get that. But once I hit that 150,000, I was just instantly exposed to a completely different lifestyle because my mentors were taking me places and showing me things and exposing me to a completely different mindset and shift amongst the group of people that he was associating with. And so once I start seeing it, it's like you can't unsee it. It's like being in a relationship, right? And once you start to expose yourself to a certain type of woman or a certain group of women or a certain environment or a certain network, you can't unsee it. You're not gonna put that genie back in the bottle. So it was the same thing when it came to money and networking and opportunity and the places that you go to and frequent. you know, you being around people and nobody cares about the check and everybody is like, oh, don't worry about it and this and that. You know, but they didn't budget. They didn't think about the money aspect of it. They just lived, right? And it was just like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Whoa. And so as I've transitioned through the years and as I've been able to live this lifestyle for an extended period of time, you can kind of say it's a little bit more of old money. It's not old money in that it's decades old, but it's old money in that I've made it long enough to be able to substantiate my lifestyle, create a significant net worth, and then also get used to it to where I'm not impressed by so many things, but my expectations is to live a specific lifestyle. Now, why 25 million? Why that number? Because I don't believe outside of buying a yacht, or unless you are, what's my man's name? Meet Kevin, right? Meet Kevin just bought a private jet. And at first I was like, yeah, I can get there. 9 million, spending 9 million cash, I can get there to get a private jet. But then I'm like, at this point, why would I ever need a private jet? I love getting my Delta points. I love flying first class at Delta. I park right next to the door. I walk right up to go through Sky Priority, and I'm cool. I'm chilling with that. Maybe I'll change, right? But as of right now, I don't care about boats. I don't even care about cruises. I don't need a yacht, and I certainly don't need a plane. And outside of that, there's nothing, absolutely nothing that you can buy or you can live that I can't go to. And that's my thing. It's not about going and exercising the options. It's having an option to do so and then choosing not to. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I own a lot of different properties, right? From a real estate perspective. The majority of my net worth is tied up in real estate, right? And then I have a significant amount of holdings in specific companies and stocks. And then I got my companies, and I got content creation, and all that type of stuff, right? If you're not a part of the Bag Chasers to be able to have this conversation with me, then you really need to join the Bag Chasers, because it's a lot of insight and information and a group of people that's going in the direction that we're going in. And we do monthly meetups where I fly to a different city to add value into your life, right? And also, shout out to Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. We rocking out on the Teach Hanley, right? I own a lot of real estate. And the majority of the places that I own, square footage wise, is actually much better and much bigger than the place that I live at. But the place that I live at is based off a lifestyle. I don't like the maintenance. I don't like the idea of having to fix water heaters and grass and all of that other type of stuff. And so, yeah, you can get a service for it and all of that. But I don't even want to live in a space where I have to even worry about that type of thing, right? The idea, though, is that I don't need a lot to be able to live. I just like great quality. I like the views. I like overlooking the water and all of that other type of stuff. So I also get to write off a significant portion of, I can't even give you that game. I can't even talk out loud on a public platform in order for me to even be able to substantiate. But I live where I rent. I rent where I live, and then I rent out to other people the places that I own, right? But the $25 million number, I adjusted it for inflation. And so the idea of it is that, first of all, I don't need cash at all, right? The only thing I need is assets. Assets is the thing that rich people look at as far as substantiating your net worth. Whenever you hear somebody say something like cash millionaire, it's ignorance. It's pure ignorance, because your money is losing money every single day based off of the rate of inflation, because it has to be working for you all the time. As long as I have access to and I can pull out resources in order to be able to take care of my lifestyle, and those assets are continuing to generate money, I can live the life that I want to live for the rest of my life. And it is a significant portion that eventually I'll pass down to my daughter, right? And those assets will make sure that they pay me forever. So the 25 million number is a number that I believe that you have no limits. There is nothing that you can't do. There's an option that you cannot exercise. There's no place that you cannot travel to, and no group of people that can stunt on you in any way, shape, or form. And it's not about stunting, because you see me with my Pistons hoodie. Now, if you look at the back of this hoodie, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. Nope, you can't see it. If you look at the back of this hoodie, this is that Santa Detroit. Y'all don't know nothing about it. This hoodie costs a lot of money. But I don't need to look like a specific thing in order to be able to substantiate anything for anybody. But the goal is, if I like something, I should be able to buy it. If I want to go a place, I shouldn't have to budget for it. If I want to live the life that I want to live based off of this standard or this standard, I don't have any any worries about money and finances and resources in order to do so. Every single thing that I'm doing from here on out is just points on the board. Everything. It's no option that we cannot take care of. It's nothing that we can't do. And you should live that life too. You should not have to worry about money and resources. You should not be trying to figure out how you're going to pay for something. You should not be sitting there having your kids under duress talking about, I don't know how I'm going to pay for them to go to college, or they're going to have to graduate with a bunch of college student debt and then ask whoever the president at that time for student loan forgiveness because y'all got it. You should not be doing that. You should not be looking for stimulus checks. You should not be trying to depend on the government. You should not be looking for them to feed you. You should be living in abundance. And rich people live in abundance. We don't think the same way that you think. I love you. I appreciate you. Again, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I love you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace, man.